Why is it so difficult for people to become rich? I personally do not think becoming rich is that tough, rather what makes it seem difficult is the fact that many people are unwilling to pay the price for delayed gratification and exercise patience. You may feel bad for poor people when you initially encounter them, but very quickly you will learn that most poor people are also very difficult people who wants to have their way all the time. Most poor people will actually not listen to anyone who wants to give them advice that will help them escape poverty. You will even be surprised to learn that the well-off are often more willing to listen to new information and try new things than poor people. In fact, many poor people can be very stubborn, and most of them are actually poor because of their stubbornness and unwillingness to try new approaches to their situation. You see, most educated rich people often use a very simple 4-step process to achieve their riches. 1. They find themselves a job that pays them regularly. 2. They create a budget for themselves which stipulates that they spend less money than what they make, and that they make it a point to stick to the budget. 3. They control themselves their emotional urge to spend money. They also control people around them, family, friends, etc., so they are not caused by either their emotions or people around them to spend over their budgets. 4. Finally, they make sure they sign up for some form of platform on which they can invest the extra savings from their budget at a decent rate of return. The 4 points above often sounds too simplistic to poor people, but it actually constitutes the plan many rich people use to escape poverty and set themselves up on the road to success. The plan above requires the practitioners to be very patient and exercise self-control to not seek immediate gratification over future success. Unfortunately, this is where poor people show their true nature and reveal why they became poor. They are often very impatient and are just not able to sacrifice short-term gratification for long-term satisfaction. If you have ever witnessed a poor person get a sudden windfall of money, you will think that if it were you and you were poor, you will seize the opportunity to escape poverty, but the poor person will not follow the 4-step process given above, even if the plan is given to them. They will immediately start buying luxury items and expensive cars just for show off to their families and friends that they have received money, and they will totally reject or ignore any advice to invest a bigger chunk of the windfall. The poor person will become very impatient, get easily agitated, and give many excuses about why it will be impossible for them to save any of that money and follow the 4-step plan given above. This lack of patience and their inability to sacrifice short-term gratification for long-term gain appear to be in the very nature of some humans from the moment they are born, and only changes slightly when people are exposed to knowledge of this phenomenon. Psychologists who studied this phenomenon in little children called it the marshmallow effect. The Stanford marshmallow experiment was a series of studies carried out on delayed gratification in the 1960s and early 1970s, led by psychologist Walter Mischel, then a professor at Stanford University. In these studies, a child was offered a choice between 1 small reward provided immediately or 2 small rewards, if they waited for a short period, approximately 15 minutes. During this 15 minutes period, the tester left the room and then returned. The reward was sometimes a marshmallow, but oftentimes it was a cookie. In follow-up studies, the researchers found that the children who were able to wait longer for the preferred rewards tended to have better life outcomes, as measured by SAT scores, than the kids who couldn't wait to receive a double reward. So in conclusion, it appears there is something in the very nature of some poor people that makes them 1. Unable to wait patiently, and 2. Unable to delay immediate gratification for huge gratification in the future. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you want more of these types of videos, do not